Okay, so here is a 6-month review on the 2010 Isuzu Dmax. So yeah, I purchased this in May. It's December now, so just over 6 months. Yeah, it's been a pretty decent car. I've had one problem with it so far. It dropped a cell in the battery. I just put this down for a sec. So it dropped a cell in the battery, so I had to get a brand new battery. It wasn't too bad. It set me back $160 or something like that, so it could have been worse. So the battery went, what's new, got this 32-inch King's Light bar from the 4-wheel drive Super Center. I got it for a trip up to Central Coast for a lot of driving. We had to go up and back in 2 days, and that's over 20 hours driving in 2 days. So this was pretty convenient. The wiring on this goes through here to the back of this headlight. The wiring loom here connects positive, negative, around the back here, all the way through here, and then under the little grommet in the back, and I put the switch right there. So that works really well. It doesn't look too bad either. Suits the bull bar pretty well. Yeah, what else is new since I got it? Picked up an ARB canopy probably 4 months ago. I got it painted. It was a different color initially. Came with the Rhino racks, which I haven't used yet, but are pretty convenient to have. Unfortunately, someone broke into the car nearly 2 weeks ago, and I haven't had a chance to replace the back pane of glass. So got pretty easy access in here. I don't keep anything invaluable in here, and there's a lot of glass that's been floating around in here because like the pieces are still broken. And also my car reversed into my neighbour's fence, and this bit got dinged up, but the damage isn't too bad in here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's a bit of damage in there, but it's a 4-wheel drive. What's next? So we're on 123 980 kilometers. Next service is at 127, so 4,000 kilometers left. Got told that the rear tires might need some new tread, so I might just do the complete front and rears on that. At this stage I'm looking at a BFG all-terrain, the KO2s, in a 265 75 16. They should fit pretty easily on a standard set of wheels. I'll change the wheels as well. I hate these. They're the bane of my existence, these bad boys. I just think they're really fugly. Yeah. It does a lot of towing. I've got a little tinny, and so the tow bar comes very handy. I have some problems with the tow plug here. Sometimes it doesn't get the best connection, so I might have to get some electrical cleaner spray or some conducing gel or something to go in there, which will help the connections. In the back, when I purchased this car, I was concerned about the amount of space that was back here, because I wanted the car for a few years and I want to be able to take a few passengers, and I had hopped in a D22 Navara and there really wasn't a lot of space back here. If I was sitting, my legs are currently like that. I'm 195 centimeters, 6'4", so I'm a big guy. It's comfortable as it is, but if it was a D22 Nav, they'd be like up here and it wouldn't be comfortable. There's a bit of extra room up here on there's an extra slight groove, if you can see that, running from here. It gives you a bit more headroom. So, I mean, it's not really super comfortable if you had 5 people in here, but it's pretty good, and given the amount of money that it costs to get a larger dual cab, such as a Hilux, which has a bit more room, or Amarok or something like that, this is fine for what I need. It's got the vinyl floors, which are pretty handy. At the moment I just have these crappy carpet floor mats which do nothing because they just slide around, but I just had them sitting at home, so I threw them in. I have my toolbox under here, got all the tools I need, and if you can see in here, just here is the bottle jack. If I open up the door, it might give a bit more light. Yeah, there's the bottle jack. What else? I'll close that up. The third seat belt is one of those clip-in ones, so you clip that in here. It's a bit hard with one hand, and then you clip it in over this side, or this one. So that's how that works. It's good if you don't need it, and to release it, you just bring another seat belt. Put this down. Bring another seat belt over here. Push that in, and she slides all the way up. Behind here there's a bit of room as well. I've got a snatch strap, a picnic rug, and there's some electrical jump start cables as well. Can see straight through the tub. What else is there? Yeah, it's got the a 5-speed manual, which is really nice. As I said, with towing, it's amazing. When I did have one problem when I was coming back from Central Coast, New South Wales. So I was towing a boat. It wasn't a big boat. It's a tinny 4.35, and I was towing it for 14 hours or something like that on the way home. The route was really hilly coming back from Canberra to Melbourne, and the car kept overheating towing. I was doing 110 in fifth gear, and it didn't like that. So I like the hills, I obviously dropped down to fourth where necessary, trying to keep to 110, but it was just pushing it too hard. And so I had to drop it down to 100 kilometers an hour, and I did fourth and fifth gear, and it was fine, but I really had to baby it. I'm not too sure what the problem there was. It might just be a stuck thermostat or some mud in the radiator just blocking the airflow. I did have the 32-inch light bar as well, so that would have restricted a bit of airflow. So I'm not anticipating any big 14-hour drives with the boat in the near future, but it's something that I would look into if I was going to do it again, obviously. I've got this the Kenwood that I installed as well myself. It's a Kenwood KMM BT303. It's really decent. I got a second pocket in here. I didn't like having a double din. I just found it silly, and I wouldn't have used all the functions on it. A single din is perfect, and I've got the slot here if I need it, or for a CB radio, UHF, something like that. It's got Bluetooth, the tuner radio, aux cord, works with the iPod and the USB. It has Pandora. I don't use that at all. It's pretty handy. It's got the phone call functionality, so there's a little speaker here to speak to like my family or girlfriend on the way driving home from work. Let's go for a little drive, and I'll show you what it's like. one thing I forgot to say is the handbrake sucks. I think on any turbo diesel 4-wheel drive, you'll find that just the torque or the size of the vehicle just far exceeds the stopping power on the rear handbrake. It does nothing. It may as well not be there. So make sure you always stick it in gear if you've got a manual. Or you'll learn the hard way like me. I left it in neutral and I didn't put the handbrake on, and yeah, rolled back and hit my neighbour's fence. Cost me $900 to fix, just the neighbour's fence. So make sure you put your handbrake on even though it does nothing, and in gear. Just double check every single time. One other thing that I really like, I have to wear a suit for work, and I often go around to my girlfriend's house and I take my suit, and a lot of the times with my old car, it had one of those flimsy little clothes holders in the back that if you put too much weight on it, they would permanently stay down and it looked all funny. This one in this car it's solid. You could put 10 kilos on that thing and it's not moving, and there's 2 of them. It works really well with my suit. I really like that aspect, so yeah. I get around 450 to 500 kilometers in a tank. There's a disclaimer on the tank though. It takes about 40 liters to fill. So there's a big surplus in the tank. I'm not too sure what's going on. I think they from my reading they put on the low gauge, the low fuel gauge comes on really early to not overheat the common rail diesel. So when the low fuel gauge light comes on, you've got a long way to go, a lot of liters left in the tank that you can use. So it's really economical. It cost me like under $50 to fill up for 450 to 500 kilometers for $50. It's pretty good. Prior to this car, for me, I had a LS1 Holden Commodore VYSS. That had a 75 litre tank. It took premium fuel, 98, was like, I paid $100 to fill that tank sometimes, and it would last the 450 kilometers. So I'm doing the same kilometers at nearly half the price for a kilometer. So for the total amount of kilometers that I'm doing, so I'm pretty happy with the fuel economy and the fact that I can tow as well. It gives me so many more options. The SS was a great car. I wish I still had it. 6-speed manual, LS1, rear-wheel drive. Something just so right about driving an Aussie V8 Holden Commodore in a manual, but times change, people move on. This car's the right one for me. It does everything I need it to do. I really love it, so I couldn't recommend highly enough the Isuzu Dmax 2010. I love it. Alright guys, peace out.